Episode 56QX February 18, 2024. UK Global Action Plan Summit July 2, 2024 on domestic wood burning pollution. United Kingdom. Summit seeks solutions to a burning issue affecting UK air quality, July 2, 24. https://www.globalactionplan.org.uk/news/summit-seeks-solutions-to-affecting-UK-air-quality. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against with smoke emission particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Over the last decade, the amount of harmful small particle air pollution caused by domestic burning has more than doubled, but most people are still unaware that lighting fires in our homes poses a serious threat to our health and the planet. If more people in the UK were aware of the harms of wood burning, would we still see the same levels of burning that we see today? This is just one of the many questions that was posed at Global Action Plan's first Clean Air Night Summit on January 24, 2024, as we brought together leading local authorities, experts and campaigners to seek solutions to this burning issue. Global Action Plan's Director of Clean Air, Larissa Lockwood, opened the event by thanking all the organizations and individuals who supported the first Clean Air Night. It really has been so powerful to see so many organizations and advocates having this much-needed conversation about domestic burning in the public domain, and hopefully this has given us all the confidence to keep talking and keep campaigning on this. The Clean Air Night Summit then kicked off with the premiere of our campaign film, The Enlightenment, which features health, environmental and economic experts debunking myths about burning in the home. We then had presentations from local authorities that are leading the way on this burning issue, including Clean Air Night partner Hertfordshire County Council and founding supporters Surrey Air Alliance and Lancaster City Council. Sarah Perman, Director of Public Health at Hertfordshire County Council, explained why wood burning is an important issue for the council. Over the last 15 years or so in Hertfordshire, we've seen an increase in new installations of wood burners in people's homes, a trend that is repeated across the UK, and nationally we know that domestic burning is now the UK's single biggest source of fine particulate matter pollution. People have different reasons for burning wood, but if everyone knew about the facts, would we see the same level of burning that we see today? Could providing information now reduce the future negative impacts on health? That's why the information that Clean Air Night is bringing to the public is so necessary in helping to inform people's choices. It's important to keep warm this winter, and no one should go without heat, but we do want to encourage a discussion about healthy alternatives to wood burning. Lisa Harvey-Vince, Health Protection Team Manager at Surrey County Council, explained why Surrey Air Alliance chose to support Clean Air Night. Whether it's a lifestyle choice or a necessity, we wanted to raise awareness of the health impacts of wood burning to help people make informed choices. She also looked to the future by highlighting the need to shift social norms so that wood burning is no longer socially acceptable. Shining a light on the uncomfortable truth about wood burning is the start of the conversation, and like many campaigns before, this is another public health issue that people don't always want to hear about, but think about the difference we can make. Maybe in a few years' time, we will look back at wood burning as being as socially unacceptable as smoking in indoor public places is today. Dr. Melissa Parnell, Environmental Protection Officer and Air Quality Lead at Lancaster City Council, also explained why Clean Air Night is important to them. We've chosen to support the Clean Air Night campaign because air pollution, as we know, is the single biggest environmental threat to public health in the UK, and domestic burning has a significant role to play in that. She also provided insight into the local wood burning problem in Lancaster. We receive hundreds of complaints each year relating to smoke and domestic burning, and so we acknowledge that for the public and local residents it is an emotive issue. We then opened the floor to attendees to ask questions of these local authorities in our panel of experts, which included Clean Air Champion and Guardian Air Quality columnist Dr. Gary Fuller, public health expert Dr. Anandita Patnaik, and sustainable housing and energy expert Dr. Donald Brown. Dr. Donald Brown highlighted the economic implications of buying wood to burn in your home. The piece of research we did with Global Action Plan showed that in almost all instances with purchasing wood fuel, that tends to be more expensive than natural gas heating. He also urged caution when considering alternative fuels made from waste products like coffee logs, with market research showing that they are sold in relatively small volumes and are therefore even more expensive than buying wood in bulk, as well as echoing concerns about their toxicity. Dr. Anandita Patnaik discussed why wood burning is bad for our health. She explained how burning wood produces particulate matter pollution, which when inhaled enters the bloodstream and can not only affect every organ in the body, but also trigger an inflammatory response and harm the whole body. She also told attendees that this air pollution can affect everyone, no matter their age. There is very concrete evidence that it affects every stage of life, starting from the womb when you are a fetus, and then once you're born and throughout your life. It affects everyone differently, and some age groups are more vulnerable, for example children. Dr. Gary Fuller answered questions about the environmental impact of wood burning, explaining that burning wood is an inefficient and polluting way to heat your home after a night in front of the fire. You'll have more CO2 in the atmosphere than there would be if you'd done the same amount of heating with a fossil fuel. He added, when we go into a woodland and we are removing wood and chopping down trees, we're degrading the capability of that woodland system to actually absorb CO2. So, by chopping down a tree and burning it, not only do you release more CO2 than you would have done using another method, but you degrade the forest as a system and its capability to absorb CO2. Throughout the event, attendees took the opportunity to network and find ways to collaborate to tackle the issue of wood burning by sharing the latest research and insights from their campaigning, as well as personal stories about the impact wood burning is having on their families and feedback they have received from their audiences on the topic. Participants also discussed what policy measures they would like to see implemented, what resources they would like to see created to change people's perceptions of wood burning, and what their hopes are for the future of this campaign. You can watch a recording of part of the summit below. To be the first to hear about future events on clean air organized by Global Action Plan, sign up to our newsletter now. PM 2.5 and autism. Particulate matter 2.5 causally increased genetic risk of autism spectrum disorder BMC Psychiatry, Biomed Central. Sensitivity analyses did not find significant heterogeneity or horizontal pleiotropy. Conclusions. Our findings indicate that PM 2.5 is a potential. PM 2.5 and cardiac defects. PM 2.5 induces cardiac defects via AHR, SIRT1, PGC, 1-alpha-mediated mitochondrial damage. Science Direct. Air pollution is a major global public health burden, and fine particulate matter, PM 2.5, is considered to be the most important ambient air pollutant. PM 2.5 and a land use regression model. Development of land use regression model to estimate particulate matter, PM 10. Science Direct. The emission of CO and NO2 also increased by 3.2% and 1.1%, respectively. DOE started monitoring air quality in 1996 but only began tracking PM 2.5 and stress. Nexus between residential air pollution and physiological stress is moderated by greenness nature. According to a recent World Bank report, in 2019 approximately 6.4 million premature deaths were due to exposure to fine particulate matter, PM 2.5, and suicide. Study finds suicide rate climbs within a week of air pollution events. Air quality news. This, they say, is consistent with neurobiological evidence that PM 2.5 influences emotional regulation and impulsive, aggressive behavior. United States. EPA lowering PM 2.5 safe annual limit to 9 micrograms per cubic meter. EPA's new particulate rule, a particular issue for industry. Lockwood, LLP, JD Supra I. Background. On February 7, 2024, EPA issued a final rule lowering the annual health-based air quality standard for fine particulates, PM 2.5, United States. House of Representatives Republicans propose loosening of new EPA PM 2.5 safe annual limit of PM 2.5 at 9 micrograms per cubic meter. House Republicans propose bill to loosen air rule considerations. Bloomberg Law News. Particulate matter, or PM 2.5. The Environmental Protection Agency's new PM 2.5 rules decrease the allowable levels of the pollutant known as. United States. How to safely heat a tent. 6 methods. Outdoors with Bear Grylls. Outdoors. Recommended way to heat a tent. Tent heaters, propane heaters, wood-burning stove, electric heaters. If you have a normal tent, we don't recommend use a wood-burning solution to generate heat inside an enclosed space. Electric heaters. And electric. United States. Change in PM 2.5 over time. New study describes how chemical composition of U.S. air pollution has changed over time. Phys.org. Spatial and temporal variations of PM 2.5 mass concentrations in the conterminous U.S. in 2006 to 2020. Credit. Atmospheric Environment, 2023. DOI. California. Fire destroys vacant hospital in Bloomington. San Bernardino sun wood burning ban in effect Monday for much of Southern California. Crime and public safety. OC woman honored for saving 3 children from raging. Georgia. Georgia cities face new EPA PM 2.5 limit. Georgia cities face tall task to meet new air pollution standard. Phys.org. PM 2.5 are ultrafine pollution particles measuring 2.5 micrometers or less in diameter. That's about 30 times smaller than the width of a human hair. Indiana. Sydney. Sydney Town Council signs contract with Pearston Police, clarifies burn ordinancing. Freenews.com. Sydney's ordinance follows Indiana state rules, which states only untreated wood and leaves can be burnt in barrels, the council said. Leaves. Sydney signs contract with Pearston Police. Warsaw Times Union. The council also reviewed the town's burn ordinance after hearing concerns of a resident burning trash. Wood and leaves can be burnt in barrels. Iowa. Des Moines. One person suffers extensive burns from fire in Marshalltown. KCCI investigators say the flames started in an adjoining wall of a newly installed wood-burning stove in a 2-car garage, and the cause of the fire was. Montana. Indoor air quality in long-term care facilities during wildfires? It's worse than you'd think. Daily Montanan. Research has shown PM 2.5 can cause asthma and respiratory inflammation or jeopardize lung function, and the particles have been tied to some cancers. Pennsylvania. What you need to know about soot. U.S. Steel and Pittsburgh's air. The Allegheny Front Cara Holsipal. Soot is the common name for PM 2.5 or particulate matter that's 2.5 micrometers in diameter, or smaller from sources like vehicles. Texas, Dallas. Analysis going green at 50? IA Climate Pivot debated at anniversary meeting. KDL 610 AM/103.9 FM. If you don't enable access to fossil fuels, you get dung and wood burning, she said. That's the reality, and that's more polluting, more. Vermont, Springfield. Springfield Town Library presents Biomass Burning News. EagleTimes.com. The Eagle Times. Discover the facts about burning wood for heat and electricity and whether it impacts the climate and health. This event is free and open to the public. Canada, Prince Edward Island Province. Too much wood heating PEI government buildings is from unsustainable sources. Document CBC. A promise was made that only wood that had been harvested sustainably would be used in the low-emission wood-burning boilers. In industrial. Canada, Prince Edward Island Province. Too much wood heating PEI government buildings is from unsustainable sources. Documents Yahoo News Canada. A promise was made that only wood that had been harvested sustainably would be used in the low-emission wood-burning boilers. United Kingdom, Molesey, West Molesey. Residents' fears over industrial site redevelopment. BBC Council to deter wood-burning after defer funding. 5 days ago. Surrey, councillors approve replacement village skate park. February 7, 2024. Surrey, United Kingdom, Oxford. Linking air pollution to cardiovascular disease and increased risk of abdominal aortic. Oxford Academic. Oxford University Press. In Europe, comprising 41 countries, air pollution, predominantly attributable to fine particulate matter with an aerodynamic diameter size less than 2.5 micrometers. PM Italy, Naples. Woman hospitalized in house damaged by fire and smoke in Teggiano, Il Mattino. The fire, probably caused by a wood stove, destroyed furniture, some fixtures, and seriously damaged the electrical system of the house. On the Slovenia, Ljubljana. Fine particles in the air. Ljubljana among the most polluted European cities. European Data Journalism Network. Domestic wood burning is the main source of fine particulate matter emissions, based on data from the United Nations Economic Commission for Europe. Smoke bombs and what is by far the largest share of fine particulate matter emissions comes from household fuel use, especially wood burning. India, Delhi. Delhi records 7.4 degrees Celsius minimum temperature. DigiWorld.com. In the Anand Vihar area, at 9 a.m., PM10 levels were severe, standing at 439 and PM2.5 at 345, or very poor. India. Delhi weather update. National capital records 7.4 degrees Celsius minimum temperature. Z Business. Dwarka Sector 8 witnessed PM2.5 levels at 326, and PM10 was at 309. India. Illegal brickfields threaten environment at PuthiaObserverBD.com. Rajshahi, February 16. Local environment and life are getting threatened due to tree cutting and wood burning in brickfields in Puthia Ibtala of the India. Toxic air. Mahajenko denies MPCB's claims of excess pollution due to Korati. Times of India. According to Mahajenko, the data collected from the website of Central Pollution Control Board reveals that the values of PM10 and PM2.5 were higher. Thailand. Air quality in most of the country to improve for a week. Type PBS World 7 to 43.2 micrograms per cubic meter in and around Bangkok. Tags. Air quality in Bangkok. PM2.5 dust. Share post. Dead or fish found in the seas off Phuket. February 17, 2024. Thailand. Thai capital Bangkok reports unsafe levels of air pollution. Longview News Journal. PM2.5 pollution in the Thai capital and its surrounding areas is projected to worsen in the next 2 days due to air stagnation and increased